Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be looking at the S.H.Figuarts The Amazing Spider-Man from Spider-Man No Way Home. Now of course we all know the controversy with this release because originally when the first promo images were released, Tamashii Nations wanted to give us an unmasked alternate Andrew Garfield head. But then came those copyright issues and Bandai had to take a step back. They cancelled the pre-orders, they removed that Andrew Garfield's head sculpt, and they put this guy back on the market without that alternate head and for a bit cheaper price. It's a real shame, it's a huge minus for this release because this guy came out at the same time as the Tobey Maguire friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and that one came with two unmasked Tobey heads, which make that figure that much better. And so again, it's a huge shame that we didn't get that option with this release. Hopefully, maybe someday down the line we'll get that in the S.H.Figuarts, but for now this is what we have. So first let's take a look at the packaging. We have a nice artwork of the Amazing Spider-Man here. Here it says Spider-Man No Way Home, The Amazing Spider-Man, Bandai, Tamashii Nations, Marvel, and here we see the window with the figure and few of the accessories. Here is the top of the box, one side of the box, other side. At the bottom we have legalese, and this is a Europe sticker because I bought this figure from a Japan store based in Italy. So let's open up the box and let's take a look at the figure. And here is our Amazing Spider-Man out of the box. And I have to say that I was kind of worried that I won't be liking this figure that much. Not just because of the missing Andrew's head, but because some of the people were complaining about the neck being too long. And I kind of felt the same way when I saw the promo shots. But now when I see this figure in hand like this, I don't think that it's that big of an issue. I mean, the neck is a bit longer than what we used to seeing on some other Spider-Man figures, but I feel like that is how it was in the movie. I might be wrong. I'm talking about not just the No Way Home movie, but those two Amazing Spider-Man movies as well, because this suit is almost the same as the one that we saw in those original two films, and I feel like Bandai really translated what we saw on screen here on this figure. So I like the lankiness of the body, the proportions look good, the silhouette is nice, and I love the metallic reflectiveness of these red parts of his suit. It kind of distinguishes him from other Spideys in your collection. But now let's take a closer look at the details. Taking a look at the head, again the reflectiveness of that red paint is there, but the eyes are also kind of reflective. Same as with the Tobey Maguire Spidey, the eyes are not fully white, they are kind of metallic reflective, and again the webbings are fully sculpted. They are not just painted flat on the surface, but they are really sculpted and painted, so they do look really good. You can see the neck, same thing there, on the rest of the body as well. Spidey logo on the chest looks good. It also has a kind of reflectiveness. There is that texture of the suit that is much more visible on these blue parts. The arms look good, and then the legs. Here we see the back, again Spidey symbol here, really well sculpted and painted. It's really sharp, so that's good. And I love the fact that they continued Spidey's legs even on the inside or under this upper part of the torso. So when you bend him forward like this, you almost get a continuous line of those legs. And then when you move it back into position, they cover those extra parts and you still get a connected lines. So that's a nice attention to details. I like that. Of course, same as with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but also same as with a lot of other S.H.Figuarts figures in general, there are a lot of these visible cuts in the sculpt because of all the articulation points. And there are people who really don't like the way that Bandai designs the crotch piece, because there are these flaps that kind of break the sculpt, and in the back They look like butt cheeks that move, but I really don't see this as a problem. I got used to it. It does give you a nice range of articulation, so that's good. Now, let's take a look at his accessories. I feel like because we are missing that Andrew Garfield's head, they could have maybe included an alternate masked head with maybe a different expression of the eyes, you know, but it is what it is. Let's start with web effects. They give you 3 types of web effects. You get a pair of these shorter ones. It's a standard web effect for Bandai. They do it in a way that you have a loop here that goes around the wrist. Then you get a pair of these longer effects, and I feel like these are the same ones that came with Tobey Maguire's Spidey. They have the same texture here, and that gives you that effect of movement. And then you also get one piece of this longer web effect, and this is the one for swinging poses. And then you get few pairs of interchangeable hands. First, on the figure, there are the kind of fisted hands, but not really, because they have a hole, as you can see here, and they are meant to be used for holding this longer web effect. This guy doesn't come with fisted hands, and that is a real mystery to me. I mean, sure, the unmasked Andrew head was a copyright thing, but there is no copyright for fisted hands. And we had the same issue with the S.H.Figuarts Miles and Gwen from the second movie. I'm not sure what's going on here, because Tobey Maguire's Spidey did have fisted hands. Did Bandai intended for us to use these hands as fisted hands and web holding hands at the same time? I don't know, but we are missing a proper fisted hands. So that's the second accessory that is needed for this figure, and that is missing from this release. And so instead of fisted hands, they give you 2 pairs of open hands. You get a pair of slightly open hands, and these I assume should be used for wall crawling hands, but then you also get a pair of more open hands. So there we go. Then we have a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of web shooting hands, and a pair of finger pointing hands, because the meme is that important. Now, let's take a look at his articulation. The head and the neck are on a ball joint, and together they give us some nice range of movement. Head can look down this much, up all the way. You get a nice side-to-side tilt, and the head can rotate 360. Arms move out all the way, and they rotate 360. We have a nice butterfly joint, a bicep swivel, double jointed bend in the elbow, a swivel in the wrists, and a standard ball peg that can rotate the hands in any direction. We have 2 cuts in the torso, up here and down here behind the belt, so the upper part rotates side to side, tilts, crunches forward a little bit back, and then the lower part gives us also a little bit of side to side rotation, a lot more tilt when you combine those 2 joints. He crunches forward this much, and same as with Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, they inserted a piece down here that is meant to be used for covering that gap. This time the gap is still there, so I feel like the design was a little bit better on Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but it's good that it's still there. He crunches back this much, legs move out this much, forward this much, back this much. There is no drop down in the hips, but we do have a tie cut, double bend in the knee, we have an ankle swivel, feet move forward this much, back all the way, there is a nice toe joint, and a generous ankle pivot. Let's now compare our Amazing Spider-Man with some other figures. Here he is with the S.H.Figuarts upgraded suit from Far From Home movie, and the S.H.Figuarts Tobey Maguire Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man from No Way Home. And you can see that the scale here works perfectly. Andrew should be the tallest one out of these three, and Tom Holland should be the shortest one. So this scale works for me. Here he is with Marvel Legends upgraded suit Spider-Man with Tom Holland's head, and the Mafex classic suit Spider-Man. Here he is with Marvel Legends retro carded Spider-Man and Marvel Legends symbiote suit Spider-Man. Here he is with two Peter B. Parkers. To the left we have Sentinel, and on the right we have the Mafex version. And finally here he is with Mafex Miles and Mafex Gwen. So overall, what do I think about this release? It is a great figure, the articulation is beautiful, but the only downside of this figure is the missing alternate fists and of course the controversial unmasked Andrew Garfield's head. If those two accessories were included in this set, I think that this would be a no-brainer, of course. One day Bandai will re-release this figure and they will include those accessories. They do have the sculpt, so if they acquire the rights, maybe down the line they will re-release this guy. It wouldn't be the first time that they do something like that. Just remember their first and second Deadpool and the controversy with weapons that was surrounding the first release. Again, I still think that this is a beautiful figure. You can get a lot of dynamic and beautiful looking poses with this guy. If you don't mind the fact that those accessories are missing from this set, then I would say that this is a strong recommendation. Now, I would really like to hear you guys. What do you think about this figure? Is this something that you have in your collection, or are you satisfied with your Marvel Legends version of this guy? Let me know all of that down in the comments. Special thank you goes out to my Patreon supporters who are helping me to continue to make my content. And of course, to all of you guys out there, thank you all for watching my videos. Thank you all for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next one.